Hey everybody, it's Ted. Welcome back. It's Monday, February 26th. I am with my friends, Tonette Delk, right?
Yes.
I got it. And Cedric Lancaster. I got that too. See, y'all didn't know I practiced that. And we are here for, yeah, that's right, my friends. Episode 126 of the Ted Show. Let us know that you can hear us and see us. We are right on time, and we always want to make sure that you can hear us and see us. And I'm going to kind of look this up. See, John Wild's on. John, thanks for joining us. Let me know you can hear us or see us, because that is always the most important thing before they start telling a big story. Marcia's on too. Hey, Marcia, what's happening? So welcome to the show, guys. I appreciate you guys being here.
Not a problem.
Now, see, that's what it's going to look like. You can look a little bit, not to them, but it's a little because of this camera. So. All right, so Tonette, so we got the thumbs up so people can hear you. Hear, see, focus. Yay, okay, I love it. Hey, Rebecca, how's it going? So you guys, we've been friends since the club, right? So the minute that I saw Cedric across the room in some awesome suit, I was like, God, that guy's pretty cool. He's got to be cool. I mean, you're up at the club.
Who's that guy?
Cedric Lancaster. Who is that? And so we got to know each other for a little bit, and we've really kind of grown to be, we definitely have grown to be friends.
Absolutely.
And so I love their mission. I love what they're doing. And so originally Tonette was not supposed to be on the show, but we have so much great stuff to talk about. I really wanted her to be on here, and she agreed. So she's stuck in the middle of Cedric and I.
Fantastic.
And I'm just happy to have you guys on here. And so don't look at that number up there, because that's not the real number of people that are watching.
Okay.
I know a lot of people do that. So people can remove themselves. Ted rated Prince's wardrobe.
I love Prince. That's probably why I love Ted.
This looks like a mobile home rug from 1970,
oh my gosh,
right?
I love Prince.
You look great.
This is Paisley Park.
It is Paisley Park,
yes.
totally.
Raspberry
All right,
beret.
don't tempt me. I could
I know.
go right into that song.
Songs,
but we have a lot to talk about today, so welcome. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Oh my God, I was so excited to have you guys on. Mary Ann Kona's on. Mary O'Donnell. Hey, Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Mary. So give us a little background on you guys, and I'll let you two determine who gets to speak first, because we do have a ton to talk about, and I'm very excited to talk about all of it. All right, so you see how much pre-planning we do for the show.
Yes.
Well, I just want to first of all say I'm excited about being on the show today. Like Ted said earlier, we have become really good friends, and I just want to say thank him so much for allowing us to be on the show. I'm wonderful and excited through the fact that Ms. Delk is here with us as well. So just to give you a little bit of understanding about what we do and who we are, we have a company called UEBSC, which stands for Unlimited Employee Benefit Service Center. We're government contractors with service, disabled, veteran-owned small business. And what we also do is we have two other components. We do a health and wellness program, and most importantly, we just started a foundation on behalf of my baby brother that passed away at the age of 4, which was about 36 years ago.
Wow.
Which is going to enable us to help families that have an unexpected death in their lives. And so we're just excited about being here, but most importantly, it's a beautiful day today. And,
it is. Aren't we all blessed?
We're just blessed to be here, so I'm glad to be here. So, Ms. Delk, if you want to say anything.
Well, I want you all to give me your history before we delve into all that. So Cedric just basically gave you the outline for what we're going to be talking about today, which I love. Okay. But give us a little background on you two. Where are you from? How did you all of a sudden become literacy people, financial literacy people? And so give us a little bit. I love it, and I did not pay him to say that nice stuff earlier.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. My mom married my stepfather, which was in Memphis, and from Memphis, I was living in Memphis completely my whole life until I recently joined the military. I went to college and joined the military. From there forth on.
Thanks for your service.
You're quite
appreciate
welcome.
that.
And from that point on, I just had a desire to. By being in the military and got out, I ended up working for the Postal Service. And when I retired from the Postal Service and left there 10 years later, I just really had an understanding of wanting to be a blessing to people that didn't understand how the system worked. And so what I did is I formed this company that was going to give people a better understanding when it came to the benefits of retirement. So that's where it comes from, the financial literacy part. Did you have any idea when you were growing up that you wanted to be in that field, or did you ever have an epiphany? We always talk about when the actual moment was you realized,
Was there something that happened to you or something in your life where you said, you know what, somebody didn't get treated right, or somebody didn't maybe get the benefits that they needed? Was there a moment there?
Yeah, exactly. I think when I was working for the Postal Service and I was just deciding on, did I really want to work there for 20 to 30 years, or perhaps do something that I could be beneficial as far as society itself? It was just one gentleman that was getting ready to retire, and I asked him, I said, you know, what you getting ready to do, man? You got your whole world ahead of you. And he was like, I'm gonna have to go to work. And I was like, what? Gotta go to work for what? And he was like, well, no one told me that the cost of living was going to triple by the time I retired, and so therefore I got to work a job. In a sense, I got to work a retirement job. So that, in a sense, gave me the format and the idea of saying, you know what, someone needs to give everybody a better understanding of what it's going to take in order to retire.
Sure, because I think people, it's not like the old days where you worked for 30 years and you got the gold watch and you were all happy-go-lucky.
Absolutely.
Not that anybody really was, but that's what the picture that they painted.
And the pension used to cover.
The pension. I don't even think people even talk about pensions anymore.
Used to, people, federal employees.
And it's still, but it's still a scary thing because if you invest wrong or you're not, it's not safe. And so many people, we saw that with Enron and so many things that went on, and it all started to tumble from there. So there isn't that gold watch at the end of 30 years anymore, and you're not just working for 30 years anymore. And there's not like, it's not like your Social Security is going to cover what your bills are if you haven't gone on. So it's good to meet with someone to talk about that. So that was your epiphany. That was your change. And so you created UEBS.
Just say unlimited.
Unlimited.
Yes.
All right. So, but that couldn't have just come easy. I mean, you didn't have any experience other than the fact that you wanted to help people, correct? So then what did you do first? Like I love to talk about how businesses start because people are always interested in how people get started and how they got over the obstacles that come along with starting a business.
Well, you know, it was important to learn every facet of what it was going to take as far as understanding the federal system itself. And I did that. I took the due diligence and the time to study everything, critique every single thing of what it took in order to retire, as far as all the components involved as far as with retirement. Because, you know, Ted, our whole lives, you know, we've been taught to go to school, get a good education, get a good job, you work 30 years, and you should be financially okay. But unfortunately, it doesn't work. And so the thing is,
I'm 80 and I'm still working.
And so the thing is, I want to take it upon myself just to be able to understand, okay, why is it that so many people are having a false understanding of why this doesn't work after working 30 years on a job. So I put all my heart and soul into it, and I learned. And then by learning it, I found other people that had the same desire as I did. And so that's how the company was created.
And how did Miss Tonette come along? This is Tonette, by the way, again.
Oh, man.
Give us a little background on you and then tell us how you came into the picture.
Okay, my pleasure. Well, first of all, congratulations on 126 episodes.
Woohoo, 126 today.
I know.
Isn't that awesome?
Yes,
Thanks for
awesome.
Being here.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I joined UEBSC I'm new, really, just a couple of years ago.
Are you? Because I would swear you were there from the beginning.
No, I'm not. I'm new.
Seems like
I'm new. I guess 2015 was when I joined the company. And at that point, the company was almost 10 years old.
Wow.
So I'm pretty new. And actually, someone who used to be with us contacted me on Facebook. And they sent me a message on Facebook, and they just said, hey, it sounds like you do what we do, so let's meet and see if there's some middle grounds or some opportunities to work together. And we did that, and I joined the company, and I haven't looked back.
What'd you do before?
Ever since. So
You're from Nashville, right? You too?
I'm from Nashville as well. So
can you hear their lovely accent? It's so awesome.
What?
She has her sweet tea today. I love it.
I try to sound like a newscaster, but everybody's like, you sound like you're from Nashville. What does that mean? Okay.
That's a good thing.
It's a wonderful thing. But before I joined Unlimited, I've always worked either in employee benefits or some type of benefit insurance sales position, financial planning. So this is what I've done my entire career, simply because of what I experienced being raised financially. And I have always been great at math, but I didn't want to go into accounting. I actually majored in accounting in college, but I quickly learned that I didn't like it, and I'm like, okay, oh my God, what can I do with a math, accounting background, but also serve and help people? So this career field is perfect.
Well, you
for
both
me.
have servants' hearts, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
So, but then you have the Roderick Clarke Foundation, which you alluded to, and I want to talk. You have a lot going on with that. And
yes.
You can bring me back later if you want to Unlimited.
Okay.
But I really do want to talk about that because that's sort of what we talked would be sort of the focus of today's show.
Right.
So Roderick Clarke, that's the brother that you were talking about.
Absolutely.
So give us a little bit of history of that.
Once again, this is really, really dear and close to my heart because of the fact that it is my little brother that got hit by a car, unfortunately, at the age of 4. And so for 36 years, as I said, I've pretty much been keeping it within myself. And I moved my mom and my dad here. And so by bringing them here, I just told my mom, you know what, I really have something dear to close to my heart, and I want to just have a remembrance of our little brother, or my little brother, and I want to start the foundation. And she said, baby, that's fantastic. And so with that being started, it's going to help a lot of families that unfortunately have someone that they leave them unexpected. And I'm looking for everybody out there that's looking just to understand that it's not only our foundation, it's going to be everyone's foundation, because everyone has went through this in some shape, form, or fashion. And so therefore, by bringing this foundation together, it's going to allow us to be able to talk about our situation, most importantly, but also help and assist others that's less fortunate and can't do the things of an unexpected death. So
because
I'm
that's
really
what
excited
happens.
about it.
I mean, so you took your, so you're watching. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Cedric, thanks for
Hey,
joining.
Cedric, thanks for joining.
Oh, man.
So I don't know how that happened, but I like it. So that threw me off. It's
Right,
like,
right.
It's like if it said
Aren't
Ted
you
Boker's
Cedric?
watching.
My office
Yeah.
man, Tonette. Thanks, Tonette. Thank you so much.
Oh, she's on. I love it.
Right.
So you took a tragedy that obviously had impacted your life, your family's life,
Right.
and you decided you want to do something with it because
Absolutely.
that's right. When stuff happens, when we
Right.
lose someone, and we talk about this a lot on the show. We're actually doing a show on grief and death
Wow.
weekly with my pastor, David Swanson from First Pres.
Okay.
And so we're talking about this and trying to figure out, like, people don't know what to do. You become so immersed in all of the planning that you have to do, and then sometimes you hadn't planned at all. So now you're trying to figure out how to deal with the grief,
Right.
deal with life insurance or no life insurance,
Right.
deal with the
Right.
burial,
Right.
deal with what to do if
Absolutely.
there's no will, then you have probate.
Right.
Yep.
There's so much going on, and all the while you're hurting because you've
Right.
lost somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
You're grieving, and so
Absolutely.
we don't talk about grief a lot.
Right.
We feel sorry. One thing I know I have a pet peeve, and I should be kinder about this. I'm working on it. But I'm so sorry for your loss makes me crazy.
Right.
Because it's more than a loss.
Right.
It is a person you love.
Wow,
Yeah.
man. Right.
And so I'm heartbroken when people tell
Yeah.
me that they've lost a loved
Absolutely.
one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So then what you're trying to do is provide services, provide a place, a conduit for people to go
Right.
when they don't know who to go to or what to do.
Absolutely.
Yes. And we choose to focus on families that have lost a loved one suddenly. We also help families who have experienced a debilitating disability. Pretty much, if you have experienced that loss or disability and you have a new normal that you're facing with, that's kind of how we like to put it in a category. If you're
Sure.
dealing with that new normal,
Right.
since we know how that feels and since we've been through that firsthand, those are the families and people that we want to serve and help. And we help them monetarily.
Yeah, so talk about the services.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Somebody is going through something, and it's the first call. Would you recommend, especially if you don't know anything, you don't know what's going on, you're already feeling lost. Even if you
Right.
have family around you,
Yes.
you still are feeling lost, especially if you're the one that has to make the arrangements or plan. So do they call you all? Do they call the Roderick Clarke Foundation and go, okay, here's what happened,
Right.
help?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can call us. You can also contact us online. You can apply for services and even refer a friend or a family online. We do have intake forms so we can know how to triage you and get you the type of help and services that you need.
Right.
We will help you monetarily. So if you need help meeting the cost and expenses of the funeral, the burial, even if you want an immediate family member to come to the funeral and burial and they live out of town because the death is sudden,
right.
you know, all of those unexpected expenses.
Right.
We even provide volunteers to come in, and the volunteers can help you with whatever you need. And it doesn't have to be immediately. Maybe you have life insurance and you can get through those immediate final end of life planning, the funeral, things of that nature. You may need a volunteer to come in and help you rearrange your home, maybe sort the loved one's belongings, sell it, give it away. Maybe you need a volunteer to come in and help out with childcare while you go and make the funeral arrangements. So whatever your volunteer needs are, we have volunteers. We have strategic partnerships where we can bring volunteers in and we meet you wherever your need is. And then ongoing, what I love ongoing is that we provide counseling. And we provide different types of counseling because everybody's situation is different.
They
and
all grieve differently.
You grieve differently. So we have a board-certified psychiatrist on our board, and she's helped us build the framework to where we can intake a family, and then we can triage them and kind of categorize the help or therapy that they need, whether it's spiritual counseling, family counseling, couples therapy, PTSD.
Right.
You may need like adolescent or teen therapy. We do have group sessions that you can attend. We will help the rest of the family with life insurance, planning, estate planning. And, you know, we choose to focus and emphasize on those that lost a loved one suddenly, but sudden doesn't necessarily have to mean a catastrophic event or an accident.
Correct.
Pretty much if you lost a loved one and they weren't diagnosed with that cause of death, we can help them. So, you know, sometimes people experience a critical condition and they can pass away from that, a heart attack, a stroke. We'll help those family members as well as the catastrophic accidents where you can lose a loved one. And then when we say debilitating disability, if that person has experienced some type of catastrophic accident where their physical abilities are forever changed, we can help them and we can offer them services.
Because people we don't like to face our own mortality. It's always somebody else that's passed or goes through a debilitating disability. It's never us. So in general, we're not great overall at planning anything.
Yeah.
Because in order to plan, you have to go, okay, I might die, I might be disabled in a way that's going to impact me forever. And people don't like to face it. So so what you do is, so when that happens, immediately your mind goes to 1,000 different places and then goes blank.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember when my grandfather passed, nobody in the family understood I'm life health licensed. Mm-hmm. So I understood to look for that, but my grandfather was also a veteran. And so nobody thought to contact the VFW or the Veterans Affairs or Veterans Administration. Right. And just to have the flag there, to have somebody there, all of these things that should be there if you're honoring and you want that involved, you just don't think about it. Your mind goes blank and you're just on robotic mode. Exactly. And you don't know how to get to people. You don't know what to do. Like if I wasn't there, I'm not sure my family would have thought to go through all of the paperwork that was in a lockbox and find the different life insurance policies. I don't know that they would have the wherewithal to pick out a casket. I mean, these are the things we hate to talk about, but they're so painful when you're in the throes of dealing with a loved one who's passed. But you have to make the decision. And then there's all this guilt associated that you're not dealing with, hence the counselor, which I love. I always tell people that I think the craziest time for when someone's passed and when you're trying to help a family or a loved one is about 2 weeks after the funeral, because all of it's died down. Nobody is contacting you anymore because they've had to go back to their normal life. And then you're still grieving. And so nobody's reaching out, nobody's bringing by the I call it the grief buffet. Nobody's contacting you as often as they were, and so you're left alone to your own thoughts. Right. So having a grief counseling option there is so powerful.
And that's probably where we do our most work, is in that period of time after the funeral and the arrangements and the family has gone home and people are getting back to, you know, their new normal. I like to call it their new normal.
It is a new normal.
Life will never be the same. Right. And, you know, it's so awesome that we have a board member who's very fluent, and she spent all of her career in mental health and counseling with a focus on grief, because she's helped us to understand that a normal period of grief is a year. Like, it's totally normal and standard for someone to grieve in their own way for a year. You're going to always remember your loved ones. You're going to always try to honor them. There's always going to be things to happen, smells, different things to remind you of them, and they're always going to be their holidays. You may
what about
have
Facebook? I mean, nothing against Facebook, but every year you get this message all the time about what happened last year, and so you're constantly reminded of these things, whether you want to be or not. I mean, most of us want to remember, but sometimes it comes out of the blue, the smell, the picture.
It'll just hit you.
And it hits you, and so it's
and sometimes you're not prepared for it. It knocks you off your feet.
It does.
Absolutely.
And so we are there for the long term, and we are there to provide, like I said, counseling that will kind of meet you where you are. That's where we do most of our work. And with us being able to triage or intake our families and get them the appropriate counseling that they need, we know how to kind of work with, if you have like a lot of medical insurance plans, your major medical insurance, they have mental health benefits in it. So you still have a deductible or a copay or co-insurance and things of that nature. We'll help you with that.
Which
so you can
most people don't know, so they
you
might
don't
not
know
even
that.
think
So
about
we'll
it.
help you
That's
look
awesome.
at your major medical plan to see if you have those services, and if you do, we'll help you to get the insurance to pay, and then where your insurance leaves off, we'll step in so you can continue to get that help. Some insurance policies will pay for like 3 to 5 sessions, or they limit it, and we'll be there. We want to partner with you because Mr. Lancaster and his family, and we know that this is going to be a new normal going on in your life forever. And so now we just really want to get the word out that you have a place to come that's going to help you monetarily, that's going to help you get the counseling and therapy that you need. And if you don't mind, I do want to mention some of the symptoms that maybe you are experiencing or a loved one experience. If you are having suicidal thoughts, rage, anger, if you kind of want to be by yourself, we even have PTSD counselors. So if you're having those kind of thoughts, or you know someone that is because of that loss or debilitating disability, refer them, or you can apply directly to us, and we'll pair you up with a counselor or get you that needed therapy and help.
Y'all are going down. You guys are working with Parkland.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right?
We're
Yes.
excited
Talk just
about
a little
that.
bit about that.
Yes.
It's just something that I think is dear to our hearts, to want to be a blessing first and foremost, to let people know in this community, most importantly here in Central Florida and throughout the country, is that you're not alone. I think that's the thing that everybody needs to realize. You're not alone. And so with this situation and this tragedy happening in Parkland, which is not too far from us, we wanted to show our assistance as far as anything that we could do to help them and be a blessing to them. By all means, and support them. By all means, let us do that. And so they was kind enough to say, okay, in about a week or two, we wanted your services. So as a team, as a unit, we're excited about going down there and assisting them and doing whatever we can to be a blessing to them.
And it's just like what you said. It's going to be in those couple of weeks.
Right.
After it's died down in the media and we've kind of moved on and focusing on different things, all those students, all those families are going to need some type of counseling, therapy on an ongoing basis. So we've partnered with the Broward County School System and the Stoneman Douglas School itself to offer our services. They are still in the throes of fundraising. They've raised a lot of money to help those families, and so hopefully all the details aren't finalized, but hopefully we'll be able to come in and assist with distributing the money to the families. We'll be able to kind of like categorize or triage the families as far as immediate family members and survivors, and just kind of being able to tier who can get the level of that financial support the quickest, the fastest, the quickest, and firsthand. And then, you know, you meet certain, I guess, qualifying needs, you'll get the top, you know, grade A money, or the top tier of money, and then we're going to categorize it from there. But then also partnering with the school system, because of course they have crisis intervention and counselors and things of that nature to come in and help, but we'll step in after it's all died down.
Because it's long term, and I think what happens, because we're so desensitized in the news, whatever the next news thing that comes in a month from now, it's not like people will forget, but those people involved, those people impacted will never forget, and it's an ongoing thing for them. And then we've just moved on as a country, even though we love and support them, we've moved on because the next big news story is XYZ. And so we forget, and we forget that they need ongoing, just like our city is still hurting from and dealing with Pulse. So, all right, so believe it or not, we're at the time where I want to let everyone know that we have so much to talk about, but you know, we do. Look, this was so good, though. You guys are providing such an amazing service.
Thank you so much.
We're going to provide all of Cedric and Tonette's contact information, the URLs, how to get to the Roderick Clarke Foundation, how to reach them at Unlimited. But any parting words of wisdom from you all to the audience? And the audience has been very receptive. I've been trying to keep track of the messages, and I promise you that you can message them individually or message me, and I'll put you in contact with them if you have a need or you have a question. But anything that you want to leave the audience with today?
First and foremost, once again, I just want to say I'm very thankful for being on here on the show today. But my parting words would be, in getting started, because I think it's a lot of great minds that's listening today. One of the things we always have to realize is we have to begin, but most importantly, we're going to struggle. That's just no ifs, ands, and buts about it. But the thing about it is we're going to overcome our struggles that caused us to struggle in the beginning, and the only thing left to do is win. So it's exciting to know that we're around a lot of great, powerful, influential mindsets that want to be a blessing to each other.
Agreed. How about you, Tonette?
Yeah, I always end with a call to action.
I like it. Let's do it.
Yeah, so we do need your help. We need strategic partners. So I would like to call on anyone that maybe you have a connection with your employer, corporate office, you're a part of a group, sorority, maybe there's like an honors program at a high school or a college, or if you're a member of a club and you all need volunteer opportunities, maybe you have a quota, you got to have so many volunteer hours per semester, quarter, whatever have you, or maybe you are in a group of some sort that wants to at least volunteer so many times, you know, X number of times a year. We are looking for those strategic partnerships to help us with volunteer partners. We need help monetarily ourselves, so please donate. If you have experienced the loss of a loved one suddenly, you know all the unexpected factors that you had to face. A lot of people, I hear a lot of people say GoFundMe is not life insurance, and you know,
we laughed about that.
I know, and I've seen people say it on your show, and I just want to kind of like appeal to the people, or just maybe allow you to think about that a little bit more, because if you are a surviving family member of someone that you love and you cared about, and they maybe didn't do a good job fully planning, and you feel like GoFundMe is your last resort, or is the only way that you can, you know, meet those needs to give your loved one a proper burial or funeral, I want you to know that you now have an additional resource to come to. And if you've ever been a family member that has had to experience that, we ask for your partnership. So, you know, we do need your donations. Your donations will go to help fund these counselors, to help fund the monetary gifts and services that we give to others that have lost a loved one. So please donate. We'll post all of our information. You can donate right through our Facebook page or directly through our website. And then we are also looking for more strategic partnerships with like maybe schools and universities, if you have a fellowship program or a residency program for more therapists and counselors. Maybe you need to have so many clinical hours as a counselor to finish your degree or your program. We would like to partner with you because we have families that need this counseling. So if you're needing to finish your program in school, we would like to partnership with you as well. So we need strategic partnerships, we need you to donate, and we need volunteers.
Look at that. So see, they didn't even need me. They could have just done the show all without me. I've been fine.
No, we need you.
No, you all are so amazing. I appreciate you both being here. Humble. They just want to help, and the service that they offer through the foundation and really through their business too is just so important. And so when we post all of the information, I really, really encourage you all to check them out and reach out to them individually if it's something that you really want to talk about, something you're going through. Please reach out to them, and we'll post all of that information. Thank you guys.
One more thing?
Of course you can.
Sorry, one more thing.
She's on the road.
And keep posted, like our the Roderick Clarke Foundation, our Facebook page, and try to stay in contact with us because we're going to have some unique and awesome fundraising opportunities coming up. We're doing benefit concerts and golf tournaments and things of that nature that you can partake in and enjoy and support a great cause. So keep your eye out for that.
I love it. See, again, you didn't need me.
Yes, we needed you.
All right, you guys are amazing. So humble, so awesome in the services you provide. We love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Love all your questions. You guys are awesome. Please reach out to them because I know there's a lot of you out there hurting. I know there's a lot of people that really are going through the throes of it, and we're going to bring them back for the series that I'm doing with David Swanson on end of life, and we'll bring them on as a guest. So thank you guys so much. We love you. We will see you tomorrow. All right, here's the part you get to see. I get to finish. I'll let you hold it.
Okay.